So just as when you enter a temple, you prepare yourself physically and mentally and emotionally to experience the divine presence. और यही डिवाइन प्रेजेंस का अनुभव के लिए हम मिलते हैं. So just bring yourself to the present moment, preparing yourself for this encounter, for this meeting, for this gathering, अपने आप के साथ, आपका जो असली स्वरूप है उसके साथ मिलने के लिए, उसको जानने के लिए, देखने के लिए एक तैयारी करते हैं. So just as when you enter the temple or a church or a mosque, you physically take off your sandals or chappals and shoes and you clean yourself. So, and you put everything behind. You put you park your car or you put your chappals away and all your concerns, your worries, जैसे हम छोड़ के बाहर दरवाजे पर एक गहरी सांस लेते हुए, और हम ये गहरी लंबी सांस जो छोड़ेंगे, वही एक तरीका है to let go of whatever has been going on today and whatever is going on in life, and just allow it to just be there and leaving it at the door as we enter through this open door, leaving all concerns, worries, thoughts behind, and just relaxing into the temple of consciousness. So just like in a temple, there is different stages and different अलग अलग phase होते हैं, अलग अलग stage होते हैं, अलग अलग steps to get to go within. उसी तरह से यहाँ पर भी we have the three steps in, and just as with a temple or a church also, we don't just stay there forever, but हम बाहर आते हैं वापस. We re-emerge with whatever we have picked up, whatever we have learned, whatever we have understood, whatever we have experienced inside the temple, उसको हम बाहर लाते हैं. We bring it out into the world, into our life. Similarly, here also in this temple of consciousness, we bring out that to and and we bring those out. We bring those experiences out into the real world. तो बाहर जैसे मंदिर में एक चौगान होता है, there is a courtyard. As we enter, we experience something new, something different. That is the first step. And that first step, that experience of the courtyard of the temple, happens when we realize that there is something more to life than simply surviving, than simply existing, than simply just living as a physical body, taking care of the body, taking care of physical needs, that there is something more to it, that there is a thirst, there is a quest, there is a desire for peace, a desire for joy, a desire for happiness, and that there is something about the knowing and the inner experience of this which goes beyond what just we see and feel. और हमें पता चलता है कि हम इससे भी आगे कुछ है. And in this zone of knowing that there is something deeper, there is great joy and great fun and an appreciation of the beauty that life has to offer and the love that life has to offer. और ये बाहर के कोर्टयार्ड में we love the sounds, the hustle and bustle. So many other people may be there. The flower garden or the flower sellers offering you so many things, or the candle maker offering you candles to take inside. And these candles and these flowers are our gems that we discover कि हाँ जो मैं हूँ, that which I am lasts, outlasts all experiences. That there is something about me which was there before every thought, before every word, before every action. And it is there in every thought, in every word, in every action, in every feeling. And that something is there after that word and that thought and the feeling have passed. These are the beautiful gems and flowers that we pick up as we are in this outer courtyard of the temple. And you realize that I am not those thoughts, I am not those feelings. I survive those feelings, I endure through those feelings, I am there present before, in, and after every feeling, every thought, every experience. And that is the source of who I am. And while it is a beautiful space and a beautiful understanding, just like the courtyard of the temple is not the place where we stay forever, we must enter the temple itself. Entering the temple is about letting go of all of these that I thought I am, dropping, dropping the body, because the body is nothing but a series of sensations in the mind. Something we see, something we feel, something we touch, और यही है सिर्फ. So we drop, just as if, just like when we go to sleep, we drop all thoughts, we drop all feelings, we drop the body, we drop our knowledge, we drop our pride, we drop our ego, we drop our friends, we drop our relatives, we drop our communications, we drop our words, and that frees us and makes us eligible to enter the temple itself. And we enter this temple to discover what is within, what is inside, what is this that I have felt and thought about when I was outside. मुझे पता है कि कुछ है, लेकिन ये क्या है, इसको मुझे जानना है, पहचानना है, देखना है, समझना है. And with that, we come to the second stage of the inner, the temple, where inside now there is much more peace. The hustle and bustle of the market is far behind. The hustle and bustle of the courtyard is also fading, and you are in this inner space of the temple, which is much more quiet, much more peaceful. Yet it is not absolute silence, it is not absolute stillness. There is still some activity, there is still a need to know and feel and understand कि मैं जो हूँ उसके क्या गुण है, जो मेरी असलियत है उसके क्या गुण है. What are the qualities of this that I truly am? And here you're experiencing this everlasting joyfulness, this everlasting peacefulness. Just like in the temple, all your words are quiet, your actions are quiet, your thoughts are quiet, your actions are loving. You don't compete inside a temple. In fact, whoever wants to go in front of you, you're more than happy to let them go. That state, that stage is reached in this next step, where you've gotten a glimpse of who you really are. You know you're not the thoughts, not the feelings, not the body. But then who are you? There's a understanding of that. You see yourself as that space in which everything is happening, that container in which जो भी अनुभव हो रहे हैं वो उस कंटेनर में हो रहे हैं जो आपकी असलियत है. And now you are more and more and more and more in wonder and in love with knowing the innermost you, that source, जो शुरुआत है, from which everything flows. And you are now not just in the temple, but you are in the inner sanctum of you. In this inner sanctum of you, there is absolute stillness, absolute peace, absolute love, absolute joy, absolute bliss, which is infinite, fills everything, and yet has no size. And you approach this inner sanctum, coming face to face with this divine presence, which is your true nature. When everything that you can possibly let go of has been dropped outside the temple, then in the courtyard and in the temple, when you've dropped everything, you come to that which you cannot drop. You see the qualities of this awareness which now remains as the only presence there is. And you see that it is expansive, it is inclusive, it is loving, it is infinitely powerful, infinitely beautiful. And as you come closer and closer and closer, you suddenly recognize that it is not separate from you, it is not different from you. It has always been you, it is you. And you offer yourself, you surrender. आप अपने आप को शरणागत जैसे मंदिर में करते हैं, फिजिकल मंदिर में या चर्च में या गुरुद्वारे में या मस्जिद में, उसी तरह से आप अपने आप को, आपकी जो दिव्य शक्ति है, आपका जो दिव्य स्वरूप है, उसको आप अपने आप को शरणागत कर रहे हैं. Loving, embracing, merging, becoming one with this divine presence that you are. And you may want to and feel like staying here and being here forever, for all time. and that is okay. And yet, you know that out of this nothing, out of this silence, has come all music. Out of this silence has come all music. Out of this nothing has come everything that there is. And you realize that the flowers that you offer here are also made up of that same source, that same divine presence that you are. The flowers of made of nothing but divine, taking the form of the flower. And as you prepare to turn around and come out of the inner sanctum, because you cannot be there forever, because manifestation and creation are there, are present, waiting to be experienced, waiting to be explored, waiting to be loved. But now, when you start walking out, you see that everything that you see, everything that you feel, everything that you touch, आपको ये अनुभव हो गया है कि अगर वो जो असली स्वरूप है, जो अवेयरनेस है, जो कॉन्शियसनेस है, जो दिव्यता है, उसी से सब कुछ शुरू हो रहा है और उसी का बना हुआ है सब कुछ. Everything begins with consciousness. Everything is made of consciousness. Everything is made of awareness, taking different forms, different shapes. And now the same flowers that you hold have a very, very different and a special feeling to them. Knowing that while you are offering these flowers to the divine, the flowers themselves are nothing but divine in the form of flowers. And that divine is giving you an opportunity to hold divine in this shape, in this form, in your own hands. When you open the wood, the door is also made up of that same consciousness in the form of wood. Now there is a gentleness and a lovingness with you as you open the door. The door itself is treated with love, and you actually caress it as you open it because you know now that it is made of nothing but consciousness. And as you emerge from the inner temple, The same person that you saw when you were going in, you see that same person, but now in that person, you see the divine consciousness animating them, dancing in their eyes. I mean, you may not physically do it, but you bow down to that person. You may never know, you may never meet them, but there's a feeling of surrender, there's a feeling of humbleness, there's a feeling of love, there's a feeling of prayer to that stranger that you see as you emerge from the inner sanctum. And as you come further out, the sounds of that temple are entering you, and each sound you welcome. Each sound is a sound of divine. Every bell you hear is how divine sounds when a bell rings. Every voice you hear is how consciousness speaks. Every child you see is how consciousness behaves and looks when it takes the form of a child. So now, on the way out of the temple, even though everything is just the way it was when you went in, it is not at all the way it was when you went in. For no reason now, there is a song in your heart. For no reason, there is a spring in your step. For no reason, there is a smile on your face. For no reason, you want to include and embrace everything that you see, everything that you hear, because it is all you. It is all I. It is all we. It is all us. And you continue out into the courtyard, and you again pick up your shoes and your umbrella and your bag. And just like that, we again pick up our thoughts, our feelings, our sensations, our perceptions. But the same umbrella and the bag and the shoes now feel and look different to you. On the way in, it was just a bag. On the way in, it was just an umbrella. On the way in, it was just shoes. Now, it is consciousness taking the shape of shoes, consciousness taking the shape of an umbrella, consciousness taking the shape of a bag, and consciousness taking the shape of thoughts, consciousness taking the shape of feelings, consciousness taking the shape of all sensations, and consciousness itself taking the shape of your body. And now those thoughts, sensations, feelings, the body are so lovable, so beautiful, because they are you, they are the I, they are I am. They do not exist in the absence of the I. The I is what creates them, the I is what it is made of. The I is from where it starts, and the I is that to which it returns. And just as you love naturally everything that is yours, you now see that in fact, truly everything is you, everything is I. And now you leave the temple itself and enter the market. And in the market now there is noise. In the market there is chaos. And yet, you that has touched the inner sanctum knows that this chaos is made of nothing but peace. It is made of nothing but love, emerging from love and returning into love, no matter how it looks. And in the market, there may be two boys fighting, just like they were when you went in. But now you see that also as dance of divine. You see the chaos. You see the chaos as dance of divine. And though the market is just like it was when you first came in, it is not at all like the way it was when you first went in. Because now everything is permeated, filled with this knowledge, this understanding of what it truly is, what is truly going on, what is it in reality, beyond what it looks like, beyond what it sounds like. You now hear the music behind the noise. You now feel the peace beyond the chaos. And in fact, that peace now fills that chaos and no longer feels like chaos. And miraculously, it may not even be chaos anymore. And you continue home to your family. And again, everything is just as it was before. The TV is on and the family is doing what it always does. And yet, it is not at all what it was like before. because in the TV, in the furniture, in the walls, in everything that you see, in everything that you hear, you see nothing but the dance of the divine. And with so much rejoicing, with so much celebration, with so much joy, what is left but to celebrate with whoever is there, with whatever is going on? Would you rather quarrel or would you rather celebrate? And this continues into the next day and the next day and the next day, in the office, while you're driving, while you're commuting, the same divine presence everywhere. All same and yet all different. And if you forget, all it takes is three steps into the inner temple of you and back out in the outer world of the universe. And that journey need not take any time at all, because you're entering eternity when you do that. There is no time required. And notice how your life, this dream, is manifesting moment by moment, seeped in, filled with, permeated with divine love, divine consciousness, which is you, which is we, which is us, the one that I am, that you are. And slowly looking down, re enter, we complete this journey into and out of the inner temple of the open door, what is past and behind and beyond the open door, and come back to the entrance, to the open door, so that we can emerge back out into the real world, into the other world, filled with this journey, filled with this experience of today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Open your eyes. Great. वंडरफुल. वीडियोस ऑन कर सकते हैं तो अच्छा है. जय गुरुदेव. नमस्ते. Encountering the divine souls where we have just been on a pilgrimage together. Yeah, great. So wonderful. Any thoughts, comments, or questions? Yeah, Purushottam ji.
It was a very, very, very wonderful experience. But what I found is that मीन्स अप टिल नाउ सिर्फ मेडिटेशन तक के साइलेंस कैरी करते थे, लेकिन मेडिटेशन के बाहर आने के बाद भी वो साइलेंस, और अपने दुनिया में जाते समय भी साइलेंस, मतलब उसकी प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, वो कैरी कर रहे हैं, ये
Right. This
पहली
is
बार
a
एक्सपीरियंस के।
new thought.
यस।
Right, right, right. We have spoken about this third step. वो जो पुनः प्रवेश की जो हम बात कर रहे हैं, मैंने वैसे बात की है पहले,
यस।
but not as an experience and not as with such detail or clarity of what it actually means. क्योंकि जब तक हम पुनः प्रवेश, okay, everything is divine, but as an understanding it may be there, but as an experience, as a feeling, as a thought, as a process, that clarity comes when you go into the detail. They say God is in the details. So this was a experience of going into that detailed way of understanding what that means. What does it mean? It's not a
वो
theoretical. Yeah, great.
वो
So
मैंने
it.
वो अभी एक क्षण में मैंने प्रैक्टिकल में एक्सपीरियंस किया। अभी मैं मेरे
Okay.
कंसल्टिंग में बैठा
हाँ,
हूँ, और
हाँ.
बाहर कंसल्टिंग का समय हो चुका है, लेकिन बाहर एक
Okay.
पेशेंट आए, तो
Correct.
कंपाउंडर ने 2-3 बार दरवाजा खोला बंद किया।
Right.
तो ये प्रोसेस में था, तो मुझे थोड़ा, मतलब डीप जाने के ये कर रहा हूँ, वो तो बाहर ही कर रहा, तो उसमें थोड़ा इरिटेशन आ रहा था। लेकिन
Right.
जहाँ आपने वो आउटर वर्ल्ड में उसको एक्सटेंड किया ना,
Yeah.
तो मेरे लिए अभी ही प्रैक्टिस हो गई।
करेक्ट, करेक्ट, करेक्ट। तो आपने क्या कहा उसको, या क्या हुआ, क्या
कुछ नहीं,
क्या किया?
कुछ
अच्छा।
कुछ नहीं कहा, हंस दिया उसकी तरफ देख के। और
राइट।
सबसे सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है मेरी फीलिंग अंदर की।
योर
मैं
फीलिंग अंदर की, या
हाँ, मुझे
या
वो,
यू।
मेरा मेडिटेशन डिस्टर्ब नहीं हुआ, मुझे वैसे के वैसे ही लग रहा है जैसे मैं डीप मेडिटेशन में रहता हूँ या उस समय
करेक्ट,
रहता हूँ।
करेक्ट, करेक्ट, करेक्ट। वेरी नाइस। सो shift from irritation to peace in
ऐसा।
just like that, just like that.
ऐसे।
ग्रेट। ये
थैंक यू।
बहुत
थैंक यू।
इंपॉर्टेंट है, और ये लगता है छोटी सी बात है, लेकिन ये बहुत बड़ी है, बहुत बड़ी
नहीं,
है।
ईयर्स टुगेदर मेडिटेट करते रहे, लेकिन ये बाहर आने के बाद ये सब होते ही रहा है, यार पहली बार
Correct.
हुआ।
That's it. And that is the whole key. The whole life can be very, very much celebration. अगर हम ये these small things which irritate and bother, उसको लेके हम कितना परेशान हो जाते हैं, और life just keeps on passing us by without uncelebrated.
थैंक
Great.
यू।
So we continue this celebration outside of the closed door, outside the open door, I mean, and inside the open door, we continue all along. Wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
थैंक यू।
See you all. Time, okay. Yeah.